A small town held a legend of an ancient mirror buried deep in the old mansion at the edge of the woods. This mirror wasn't ordinary. It showed glimpses of the future to whoever gazed into it. At first, the sightings were vague, flickers of shadowy figures, strange symbols, but soon, they turned urgent and clear, predicting events that would later unfold in haunting detail. A young woman named Elara, new to the town, grew curious and ventured into the mansion to find this mirror. Elara found the dusty, ornate mirror covered in cobwebs in a dimly lit room. When she peered into its glossy surface, she saw a violent storm that hadn't been forecasted. The next day, the town was battered by a sudden cyclone, matching the mirror's image. Word spread, and people started visiting the mansion, desperate to glimpse their fate. Some saw fortunes, others disasters. The mirror's power was undeniable, but as the visions grew darker, fear gripped the town. A child saw himself lost in the forest just hours before he vanished, confirming the mirror's ominous will. Panic turned to paranoia, and the townsfolk debated destroying the mirror. But every attempt failed, broken shards reassembled as if by magic. Elara learned the mirror's origins. It was forged by a cursed seer who trapped future knowledge in its glass, binding the town's fate to its chilling visions. She struggled with whether to warn people or keep the secret silent. One night, Elara stared again and saw a figure dressed in black breaking into homes, predicting a series of burglaries. She warned the townspeople, and they caught the thief, reinforcing belief in the mirror's power. However, the mirror also showed Elara herself in danger, trapped in a burning building. Her attempts to avoid this fate only seemed to lead her closer to it. The mirror appeared to be a curse, not just a prediction tool. The terrifying truths revealed meant no one could ignore the mirror's warnings. The town was split. Some wanted to worship it as a prophetic relic, others sought to escape the fate it dictated. Elara discovered that the mirror's future was malleable. If actions were taken, visions changed, sometimes growing worse. It demanded belief and sacrifice to maintain its power. The mirror fed on the townspeople's fear, twisting reality. One final vision showed Elara destroying the mirror and unleashing a darkness that would consume the town unless a guardian took its place. Faced with a grim choice, Elara decided to become the mirror's protector, binding herself to its curse to shield others. The mirror's surface glowed faintly, with her reflection forever entwined with the future it revealed. The town, left in uneasy quiet, waited for the next chilling prophecy to appear in the haunted glass. The mirror's curse deepened as Elara became bound to its fate. Each night, the mirror whispered fragments of the future, drawing her deeper into a web she could neither escape nor fully understand. The visions intensified, revealing secrets of people's darkest fears and hidden sins, feeding on the town's unrest. Elara found herself torn between her desire to protect her neighbors and the suffocating prison of destiny the mirror wove around her. Her reflection in the glass seemed more alive than ever, sometimes mouthing warnings she could barely understand. Slowly, the town changed. Fear grew into obsession. Some individuals would sneak into the mansion, desperate to gaze upon their future despite the cost. Others refused to enter, terrified the mirror had marked them for doom. The boundaries of reality blurred. Some visions began manifesting before the mirror even showed them. Elara sensed that the mirror's power was no longer contained. It was leaking into the world around her, threatening to unravel everything between past, present, and future. Elara, now more a guardian than a prisoner, searched for a way to break the mirror's hold. She discovered ancient texts hinting at a ritual to sever the connection between the cursed glass and fate itself. The ritual demanded a sacrifice of hope, a symbolic breaking of belief in the mirror's truth. Yet, the town had become addicted to its foreknowledge. Giving it up meant embracing uncertainty and vulnerability, a terrifying prospect after the horrors they had already witnessed. As dawn approached, Elara prepared for the ritual alone in the cold mansion, heart pounding with dread and hope. She recited the ancient words, watching the mirror's surface ripple as if protesting. Slowly, the visions faded, gone like shadows at sunrise. The mirror fell dark, no longer a gate to the future but a silent relic. The town was freed from its cursed destiny, yet the scars of what had been seen remained in their minds. Elara's sacrifice made her legend, a guardian who held both truth and mystery in balance. The mirror, once a terrifying prophet, became a symbol of the peril in knowing what lies ahead and the strength needed to face the unknown without fear. As the mirror grew silent, a strange calm settled over the town, but the peace was fragile. Elara found that leaving the mirror alone didn't end its influence. Fragments of its curse had seeped into the lives of the townspeople. Some began experiencing echoes of the mirror's visions, fleeting flashes of possible futures in their minds, unbidden and unsettling. The townsfolk faced a new struggle, living with knowledge that future catastrophes might be just around the corner, yet without the mirror's concrete warnings to prepare for them. Elara dedicated herself to helping people cope with the uncertainty. She urged them to embrace uncertainty and free will, to fight against the deterministic chains woven by the mirror. Slowly, she saw changes. Old grudges healed, new bonds formed, and hope sparked despite the shadows. The mirror's shattered legacy became a lesson in the dangers of trying to know too much, of letting fear guide lives through prophecy rather than choice. Years passed. The mansion, once a place of dread, was transformed into a sanctuary for those seeking refuge from their fears. Beneath the quiet, Elara continued guarding the mirror's resting place, forever vigilant should its dark power ever awaken. The mirror held a dual lesson, that knowing the future can be a curse, but choosing how to face it is a true act of courage. The mirror, now dormant, became a symbol of humanity's eternal question. How much should one look forward, and how much must be left to the mysterious unfolding of fate? The mirror's silence was deceptive, for its curse lingered like a shadow over the town. Elara sensed that though the mirror no longer showed clear visions, it had imparted a deeper lesson. True power lies not in seeing the future, but in shaping it through choice. The townsfolk had begun to grapple with this fragile truth, yet scars from the mirror's terror remained etched in their hearts. Some embraced hope, others remained trapped by fear of what might come, haunted by the echoes of the mirror's past. Elara continued guarding the mirror, knowing it would one day awaken again, but also teaching that living in fear of fate only weakens the soul. She encouraged the town to live boldly, cherishing uncertainty as life's gift rather than its curse. Slowly, a new culture blossomed, one that respected mystery and valued resilience over prophecy. The ancient mirror remained a silent testament, a reminder of humanity's endless tension between destiny and free will. Subscribe, hit the like button and click on the notification icon for more interesting episodes.